Hey guys, what's up? This is the biggest ice cube I've ever seen. Where did this come from, Christopher? I wish you guys could see it. It's a full-on iceberg in my iced coffee. Anyway, hi. Today I felt like making cake, and not just one kind of cake, but a couple of different versions. Because you know what? Cake shouldn't just be for birthday parties. Why don't we make it more at other points in life? Why not just like a random Wednesday? Make a cake. That is why today we are making cake, because I want to, all right? Sometimes you gotta put your foot down or your fist and just bake a cake. And this one is a super easy one that I saw online that had millions of views, and it is for a 5-minute cake that does not require use of an oven. But I thought it'd be really interesting to try out this recipe as it is, see what it's like, see what the crumb level is like. It looks phenomenal in the video, super moist and rich and delicious, and just like, I was like salivating watching the video. And I thought that was such a good idea for anyone who's starting out baking, that doesn't have access or isn't allowed to use the oven yet, who maybe just wants to test it out and play around and experiment with baking, and maybe doesn't have a lot of experience and wants to try it out. I think that's so good. I wish I had it when I was growing up or starting baking. I would have made it every day. Every day after school I would have made a cake. That could have been dangerous, but still. Mom, if you're watching, would you have allowed me to make a chocolate cake in the microwave every day after school? Let me know. Iced Dalgona, I'm telling you what. Oh, that's annoying. You can just see like my straw at the end, like a little, I don't know, like a little shark. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway. But I thought, just for experimentation purpose, that it would be really interesting to try out the same recipe in the oven, compare and contrast, kind of see what it looks like. And I have to make cake and cupcakes for another video that I'm filming later, stay tuned. And I was gonna use my regular chocolate cake recipe, and so I thought, why not? We're just gonna throw it into this video. We are gonna compare them all, see where the differences lie. I'm just kind of genuinely, excuse me. Hello? A lot of the ingredients that I'm pulling out for the traditional cake recipe are very similar to the ones for the 5-minute cake. So how much easier is it, other than obviously the shorter cook time and the absence of the set oven? I want to know. Inquiring minds need to know. And also I just want to eat cake. So let's do this. And we are going to start with the 5-minute cake, obviously. There's also a recipe for a 1-minute frosting, which also looks really delicious. And we're going to put that together too and just see what this cake tastes like. I'm also going to compare it to my favorite, I want you to understand it, favorite icing recipe I've ever used in my entire life. It is so good. It is an extreme, rich, decadent, chocolatey frosting, and it makes every single cake better. Any cake that you put it on, it will make it better. I promise that. It is honestly the best icing ever, so we're gonna make some of that as well for the traditional cake. We'll try it on the 5-minute cake too. It's gonna be a full cake day. A full cake day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope these cakes are good. I hope you subscribe and hang out some more, because we upload videos here every single Saturday. So, you know what? Let's get into this. Okay, so I actually mise en place this. So we do have the ingredients all ready to go. Over here, I'm gonna grab them. Look at this, everyone. Ta-da! I'm so prepared. So you can see a lot of the same ingredients go into the 5-minute cake as they do into a more traditional cake. Some of the things that I noticed that were missing from this cake, number one is eggs, which kind of makes sense just logically. I feel like they would just scramble really bad in a microwave. Also no vanilla or baking soda, and a lot more cocoa powder. Just some things I noted. We're gonna start by sifting together the flour as well as the cocoa powder. I do this for my cake that I make as well. It makes a huge difference, just doesn't cause any lumpage of the cake. Anyway, so we have 1.5 cups of flour and 2/3 cup of cocoa powder. We're gonna sift that together. Christopher, I turned on the oven for you.
Oh, thank you.
For the cake. We've put part of the cake together. It just needs to be blended and put in the oven. This feels like my birthday. I have so many cakes. I'm very excited. And where did this cake recipe come from? Because this isn't like the icing I found online.
Short answer is I don't know. The long answer is it's in my mom's recipe book as Grace's Never Fail Chocolate Cake, which is my grandmother. And I asked my grandmother about it, and she said she doesn't have a chocolate cake recipe and never did. So I'm calling it my grandma's recipe, but she denies it.
I chose the wrong size bowl for this. It is far too small. This is not working for me, it's fine. Christopher, where do you stand on cake in the grand scheme of desserts? Where does it stand for you?
Cake is reasonably high.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean...
Like in top 10 or like top 3?
Like you mean like a chocolate cake with chocolate icing?
Yes, like the best cake.
Right, yeah, because there are bad cakes.
Well, obviously there are bad cakes.
I prefer the best made pie to the best made cake.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But is it still like in the top 5?
I don't really know. Like, cake as a class would be in the top 5, but there are really only like 4 classes of dessert.
Alright, that's fair, that's fair. I like cake and I feel like it needs to be eaten more often. I mean, I eat a lot of cake.
Like, is it second for you behind cookies? Like, where do brownies rank?
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. Now I'm just questioning myself.
I feel like you don't have cake that high.
But yet, no, hold on. Like 3? Like what other desserts do I like? I like cookies, I like brownies. I'm not like a big pie person.
Yeah, you don't like pastries that much.
No.
Which is wrong of you.
Oh, okay, I want to like them. I always try them, and then I just don't like them as much. Forgot to sift in the baking powder. There we go, done. Okay, now we're gonna put in 3/4 cup of sugar, and then we're going to mix. What are you pouring in?
Coffee.
Ah, coffee. Coffee makes a really good addition to a chocolate cake recipe. All right, now that that's all mixed together. At this point in the video, she used oil in her batter, but she recommended using melted butter instead of that. So that's what we're gonna do. If she recommends it, I'm gonna do melted butter all day. And this is 1/2 cup and 1 tablespoon of butter. All right, we have melted butter. We are gonna pour that straight in, as well as some milk. You can use water, which she did in the video, but she said you can also use milk, so that's what we're gonna do. And it needs to be warm, so we're gonna do that. How's the cake coming?
Batter's ready.
Ooh, that looks so good. All right, warm milk, check. And we're gonna stir it all together. And the batter that she had was a very runny batter, like it looked quite liquidy, so that's sort of what I'm gonna be looking for. Smells really good. Okay, switched over to a whisk. So I actually added in some more warm milk, another 1/2 cup or so, which would bring up the amount to about 550 grams, which is what the actual unit measure she used. So I would go with 550 grams if you're gonna weigh it versus the 1 3/4 and 2 tablespoons amount. So now that this is all done, we are going to stick it into a microwave safe dish. This has been floured, buttered, parchment paper on the bottom, all that stuff. And then, so here's where we're gonna try something different. We're gonna put this one in the microwave, 1/2 of it, and then we're gonna put 1/2 in the oven, because she actually gave specifications depending on how big the container is that you're using, for how long it needs to go in, how much to put in, and all that kind of stuff, which is super helpful if you don't have like a full-on giant container on. I just realized, is this a giant mug cake?
Yeah.
This is a giant mug cake. I'm excited. I also feel like I'm doing one of those tasty videos, Chris. It's like a 5-minute, 15-minute, 50-minute cake.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Yeah. Look at that. Look at
What
this.
would a 5-hour cake be?
I don't know. How would you make it 5 hours? You have to freeze it. Yes, it would be an ice cream cake. You'd have to make the ice cream layer in the middle. Boom.
I was thinking, what if you, like, take melted chocolate and then dehydrate it into cocoa powder?
That would take more than 5 hours.
Yeah,
That could be 5 days though. 5-day cake? I'd be interested. I want to make sure that I get exactly 1/2. So I'm going to pour it into this measuring cup. That way it's going to be even. Oh, thank you. It smells really good, right?
It looks very chocolatey. There's more cocoa powder in this one, right?
Yeah.
Like as a percentage? Yeah.
Okay, how much we got here? Exactly 1 liter.
Perfect.
I don't know why I'm very proud of that, but I am. It is exactly 1 liter. This has also been buttered, floured, parchment papered. Pour the rest into this container, which will go in the oven. Oh, did you put this on so that it would be different? Christopher, are so smart. So this is the more traditional cake recipe. Then we have the 5-minute cake that is going to go in the oven. And then we have the 5-minute cake that is going to go in the microwave. We have 3 beautiful cakes. Which one will rule them all? Goodbye, cakes. Be delicious. Now, in the video, she did say to put this in for 3 minutes to start with. Check on it, see how it's doing, and if you need to put it in for more time, you can. So I'm gonna start with 3 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Don't want to overcook my cake. Overcooked cake is bad. It's bad cake. There he is. Ready to go. Goodbye. All right, while this is cooking, we should do the 1-minute chocolate frosting. That will also be very good. I also mise en place it. All right, let's do this. Why does it smell like coffee? What are you making back there? Is that more coffee?
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah. So into this bowl, we're gonna combine powdered sugar as well as cocoa powder again, and also a half teaspoon of salt. You don't wanna forget the salt. All right, now that that's kind of combined now, we're gonna add in 150 grams of butter as well as 100 grams of boiling water. She used grams for water, which I don't normally do, but we're rolling with it. And we're gonna mix that together until it's well combined. And we're also going to go check on the cake. Oh my goodness, guys. It's done. It's done. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here so it can cool. Ooh, this frosting is looking phenomenal. Now we're gonna add in some dark melted chocolate. We're looking at about 2 ounces or 60 grams. I don't know if I would call this a 1-minute frosting. This has taken me some time, but it is relatively easy. Like there wasn't any like pre-sifting or anything. All right, frosting is done. I need to taste it. I like how I turn around and there's coffee there for me. Thank you, Christopher. You want to try some icing?
Yes.
Some frosting?
A bit grainy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But like...
It's tasty though.
It's good.
Yeah.
The cake is done, by the way.
Which cake?
The microwave cake.
Oh.
So now I'm going to let it cool. I know it doesn't look done, but it is. So now it's been about 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take the cake out of its pan. Let it chill on a wire rack, you know. And behold, our beautiful cake. Ta-da! Ooh, it's steaming. It looks nice and moist, a little bit spongy too. It cracked in the center, but I'm excited. I think it'll be good. And then update on the cakes that were in the oven. The traditional cake is done. The 5-minute cake that is in the oven is still in the oven. Cupcakes are also done, in case anyone was wondering. All right, now we're cleaned up and we're ready. We have Francesca here and we are gonna make the best ever chocolate frosting. Let's go. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cream the butter by itself. You want to make it nice and fluffy and light, and it's just going to make the perfect base for a really nice rich frosting. So we have here 3/4 cup of butter, and we are going to get it in here, and then we're just going to cream this until it's light and fluffy. Okay, butter is now churned. So we're going to start with the bowl of cocoa powder and powdered sugar, and then we're going to go on to the milk. So we have milk and vanilla in here, and we're just gonna be alternating back and forth, back and forth. And I'm using this cup measure to like spoon this in because I've tried. You know me, I've tried kind of tipping it in and it doesn't work well. And you just want to do a little bit at a time. Like I basically don't want to see any powder in this bowl before I move on to adding in some of the milk. All right, that's nice and smooth. Now we're gonna add in a little bit of the milk and vanilla. And so I'm gonna keep doing this and then we'll be back and we'll taste test everything. Am I doing this right before dinner? Yes, I am. Do I regret it? No, I don't. All right, you ready, Christopher? You wanna taste test? Just finishing them up, ta-da! So the microwave one, it looked a little doughy on the center, but it came out clean with the toothpick and it looks like a cake. Like it looked really delicious. The one where the microwave cake was put into the oven was very, very smooth on top and just very pristine looking. Looks almost fake. And then our traditional cake. She didn't survive when I took her out of the pan. And then what it ended up doing is I iced each of the cakes half with the 1-minute frosting and then half with the extreme chocolate cake frosting, which is the best frosting there ever is, I'm just saying. So now we have some tasting to do.
Well, if I have to.
Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Okay, so where should we start? I guess, should we start with the 5-minute microwave cake?
Sure, yeah.
I feel like that's a good place to start. Okay, so in terms of what the cake actually looks like, I mean, it's very dense, but like it feels quite cakey. Cheers. Well, it's chocolatey.
It's chocolatey. The cake is a very smooth texture, right?
It is.
It's almost creamy in a way.
Yeah, it doesn't have quite that same like fluffy cake consistency. Almost not quite brownie-like, but a little bit.
Yeah, in that range, yeah. The flavors are all there. It's a bit blander than a normal cake, but
Almost watered down
yeah,
a little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
But it does have that chocolatiness, and it definitely, the sugariness of the icing brings everything up a level. I want to try it with my icing though.
Yeah.
Does my icing make it better? Yes, it will. I love my icing so much.
It works.
It does. And honestly, you have to go into it with the expectation that it tastes more like a frosted brownie. Let's try it with the same cake, but done in the oven instead of the microwave. So do you see a difference in terms of like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a lot more rise in the crumb.
Mm-hmm.
Feels less dense. This is your frosting. So
Okay,
let's
let's do
both
this one
try
first.
this. Completely different texture.
That's entirely different.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very interesting to me. But again, still a little bit on the watery side in terms of the actual flavor notes of the cake.
I find that more bland than the microwave one. The microwave one seemed to have more of a fudgy texture. But
Yeah.
it in the oven, it does come out pretty bland.
So much better done in the microwave. That really rich fudginess comes through in the microwave. But it's not cake to me. It's good. Like, it's a good dessert, but it's not that same cakiness. But speaking of cake, let's try ours. So, like, it looks very different. That obviously looks like cake.
Right.
It is a cake recipe.
Churned, softened butter helps it to rise. More leavening agents, egg.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences here.
Yeah.
Obviously need to try it.
Yes, we better.
Just to test it, you know?
You know.
But this is with the 1 minute frosting.
I like that cake.
It's a really good cake. You know, I wonder, because this recipe has coffee in it. I wonder if adding coffee to that recipe would make any sort of a difference.
It might, yeah.
Or like half coffee and half milk.
I find that 1 minute frosting recipe not as good as the extreme one that you use, but way better than a canned frosting.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less finicky than the one I make. But I really like mine. Okay. It's not even mine. It's on All Recipes recipe. I didn't come up with it.
But I think it was made by someone named Rachel.
Really?
Yeah. So,
She and I
isn't
are
it
one.
yours?
Maybe. Now this recipe with my icing.
That's just the pinnacle of cake.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like about the same amount of time spent gathering, measuring ingredients, that sort of thing. Like,
I mean, there's a couple less. Like there were fewer ingredients.
I feel like it's less about the time savings, so there is some time savings, than it is about the cooking method, right? Not having to use an oven if you don't have access to one, or if, for younger bakers getting into it, it's easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. That's a big amount of cake. It is a giant, like you said, it's a giant mug cake, but it has retained a lot of that nice moistness that I feel like is missing from a lot of the mug cakes.
Yeah.
That I make, like maybe because it's bigger, I don't know. I'm surprised about the microwave cake that went in the oven.
Yeah.
That was really interesting just in terms of how, like, the consistency and the flavor notes and everything. Like, it was just not, no.
I thought it would be a step up from the microwave cake, and it really isn't.
It is not. Don't do it. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and now I have lots of cake to eat. It's not even my birthday yet.
We have
I have lots of cake. And it's not even my birthday yet, and I'm very excited about it. So.
No.
But soon, and more cake for me.
No, this is the birthday cake.
No, it's not. Christopher! I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave us a comment. Let me know what you think if you tried any of these recipes before. And that's everything. Stay tuned to see what we're doing with the cupcakes that are over here. Very excited about it. It's going to be good. Mm-hmm. And that's everything. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Love you all. Mwah!